No, I didn't. I did, but not for going live. We're live with another egg cutting. This will be clutch number 43. And when we get to the actual cutting part, it's probably going to be pretty, I'm going to cut fast today. The quickest egg cutting you've ever seen. We're going to go for speed rather than accuracy. Uh, no, it's just a small clutch. So I'm going to stretch this out while we wait for people because I don't have a lot of eggs to cut. As a matter of fact, this will be my smallest clutch I do believe I've ever cut, so I'm hiding it from you. It's slightly embarrassing how small it is. Is it 4 eggs? 3? 2? Boy, that would actually be an improvement. It's 1. We have 1 egg, guys. We have 1 egg to cut. Here's a cool thing. Do we actually get anybody on here even yet?
Anna and
Okay.
Third Floor Reptiles. There's a few other people. They all said hello
Hello,
though.
hello, hello. Okay. So we have people showing up, so we actually are live. Okay. See if my computer's going to come on here. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. It's just coming to life. We're actually doing this on purpose. Somebody will say, well, you're not very prepared today. Well, if I was prepared, this video would be 30 seconds. So we thought preparation would be part of the video. So what we got to do is look and see what this clutch is and get the exact egg count. So I mean by the exact egg count, like Matt, you already told me there's 1. That is correct. I did. However, that is not necessarily what we started with. So, again, in the interest of being transparent, I can't just say, oh man, we have 1 egg, let's cut that 1 egg, we're happy to have 1 healthy egg. It doesn't really work that way because that would not be fair as to what happened. So this was a super lesser. So the good news is this egg will not be a normal, okay? So it's a bell bred to a GHI. So we're really hoping for a lesser GHI. God, that'd be nice. A 50-50 chance. Flip a quarter, we might get it. That would be great. Hopefully we do, because it's going to be a real disappointment if all we have is a lesser. I mean, it is what it is. How come there's only 1 egg? Well, she had a total of 8. So what the hell happened? 6 of them were slugs, and 1 went bad not long after it was laid. So this lonely clutch has been cooking all by itself. I was all by myself. Nobody was looking. See if you can tell me who sings that song. Don't tell me what it's about. This is a family show. But this thing was a singular egg. So that's what we're dealing with. Clutch number 43. Our 1 egg, super lesser to GHI. It's been cooking long enough. It's time to come out of there. Hopefully this thing, I should even mention this. It's gone term. So hopefully the animal in there is good to go. Because it would be more disappointing than just a lesser on 1 egg would be a non-living animal. That'd be the absolute worst. I organized this entire place, cleaned the hell out of it, can't find the damn hand sanitizer. Let's go over here. For those that don't know, I am a horrible, non-organized human being, and Caleb's the same. We're kind of 2 peas in a pod on that. And so what I found was us working together. Well, it's a lot of fun. Him and Kurt are the 2 guys that I want to work with the most on this. Him and I working together though in here, just fucking chaotic. We didn't know where anything was. He'd put shit someplace, I'd put it in a different place, and it just turned into a bigger disaster than I'd already created. So we had a cleaning day, and everything is somewhat organized. Now you'll still see stuff up here, but it's not just random now. Like my water bottle goes here, film equipment goes here. Things are in a certain place where I know where they're at, except for the Coke. The old Sonic cup that needs to go away. The trash is full, but now it's simply we just took it out. So it's much more organized.
This you can actually walk back here. You guys probably didn't know this, but like me and Curtis would hide behind this table to film, and we would squeeze in here and not fit.
Yeah, there's crap there. Now it's all cleaned up. It's all good. It's all nice. Very nice. As Borat would say. We're going to keep it that way. That's our goal. So, on to the cutting. How long will it take? Let's start a countdown. 1001. 1002. Oh, I'm screwing my scissors up. 1003. 1004. And I would say we're probably down at about 7 seconds total. And this does not look promising, y'all. Well,
but
it's weird.
We shouldn't have a white snake.
We shouldn't. But it also looks like there's a curled tail right there. That, I don't know if it'll straighten out or not. Or if it's kinked. We got movement. We're going to put a little more on that. So what I'm seeing that had me worried is this tail being curled. I don't know if it's, but it's not in a ball. You'll see some of this will be a bald end. And that is always curious, but this is definitely certainly a curiosity. I want to see a little bit more of this one. Because there's a little bit of a green color in there. That's also not always the best of signs. Now looking in here, it looks a little bit better.
Oh, there's a lot of movement.
There's a lot of movement. And now looking at that tail more, I'm just going to go ahead and see.
Anna, we will keep it as clean as forever. That's how long we'll do it.
I am concerned. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that tail is going to have some deformity, which is not, unfortunately, too shocking because of the fact that this whole clutch, 6 slugs, 2 eggs, and one of them fails, a few weeks in. Something obviously was not going well in that pairing. So for this little guy...
White Widow asked what the pairing was.
The pairing was a super lesser, so a Bell to a GHI. So this doesn't look like anything we'd expect either. Now,
no. What did she last year?
That's what my question's going to be. And that could be also an explanation for why this went the way it did. Because it could be, did I log what happened last year? Or is that something we started this year? I logged what happened last year. And the only bad thing is I got 2 super lessers, so... That's probably what it is. So we had a super lesser that did not go last year, and it was bred to a lesser, to a straight lesser. So, yeah, bred the Loki over there. So what I'm starting to think has happened is twice this year, a second set of retained sperm. And that honestly makes total sense because of the way this whole clutch went. Unfortunately, in this situation, the sperm the snake used was not probably very good. That's why we end up with so many slugs, and why I think we probably have some deformities here. Now, if it's just a tail that's deformed, because all this looks pretty good through here, so I'm not going to, I don't plan on euthanizing the snake if it's functioning, okay? We may not be able to use it for breeding or for sales for that purposes, but if it can be a live, healthy animal, somebody's going to be able to love that animal and enjoy having it, and there'd be no reason for me to go euthanize it. Imperfect animals should not be used for breed stock. And that's if you're breeding dogs, cats, horses, snakes, pigs, everything other than people, okay? We don't breed people. People fall in love and make babies. But everything else, imperfect specimens for what you want to do. There are acceptable faults in certain things, like we know super lessers, kind of bigger eyes, things like that you're not going to breed out of it. But kinks, things like that, we probably should not be breeding. And I've become a bigger and bigger believer in that as I go on. But that does not mean that that animal has no value. And I'm not talking monetary value. I'm talking value as in, you bred it, here it is. If it's alive and functioning, I think you as a breeder have a responsibility to find that animal a home or keep it yourself and give it a home. So that's just my feelings, and that's what we'll do. I know plenty of people who I could say, hey, I've got this animal, it just needs a good home, it can't be bred, and go that route. And that's assuming, which is a pretty big assumption, that this thing actually makes it out of the egg and does well. Because whenever you start to see these things here, like on this tail, and that is pretty certainly pink, you can see that spot right there. And they're really green in there too. It's just not a good sign. It does put this thing at a major disadvantage. So, and we talked about wanting a GHI lesser out of that, not just a lesser. Well, hell, I think we got a retained sperm Bell. Well, that's the more you know, I guess, right? So, Caleb, anything on there we need to address? If not, we'll slide over to Patreon and.
Not really.
And kind of BS a little bit. All right, guys. Smallest egg cutting ever. And like I say, man, some are going to be awesome. Some are not going to be awesome. The last egg cutting we did, I think we cut the Orange Dreams. And wait till you see that clutch update. Holy shit. They were phenomenal. We had 9 eggs, 9 healthy babies. I haven't got them all identified yet. We smashed the odds. I'll show you really quick so I can prove my point. But we really smashed the odds on that, you know. But we've also had a few clutches here at the end of the season that have been a little on the disappointing side, you know. These guys aren't it. These guys are just banging. They're in their pre-shed tub. Check those guys out. Now that one looks a little funny. It's just because he's laying in a pile. He's not deformed. He's just in a UFC head choke move right now. I'll show you. We'll fix him. Woof. There you go, buddy. Yeah, much better, huh? You get a breath? Let's get a breath, though. Let's not... And you decide you wanted to drink? Or are you just not very smart yet with muscle control? I want to make sure you... There you go. So he's fine. But these all came out just phenomenally cool, you know, for what they were. Everything came out perfect. So, I mean, it's a hit and miss thing. You're going to have a few clutches like that if you do enough. All right, Caleb, anything else?
What are these from?
These?
Yes.
Oh, shit. They're from it's an Orange Dream, just Orange Dream, bred to a pastel inchy ivory. So we know yellow bellies and everything. And then it looks like we pretty well smoked it on the Orange Dream, I'd say, from what I can see so far. And there's some good.
This one here, yeah, this one is pretty awesome.
I think that one's actually missing the inchy.
Yeah.
So,
just high expression of yellow belly. Was I right? What is that? Pastel, Orange Dream, yellow belly would be my guess.
Yeah, and this is when you get some inchy in there instead of the other one. And then this, give me my finger back. This is one of my favorites. It's not got all the genes either. Check that thing out. It's like the busy pattern. Makes me think of Blitz, even though there's no Blitz in it. You know, but this guy here, the one who was getting choked out by his buddies. Okay. I got a pile of snakes.
Did he even hit just any single gene yellow bellies? I don't think so.
This is what I think has everything in it. This is your pastel inchy yellow belly Orange Dream, I believe, right there. You know, hey.
Jojo, what was the pairing on that clutch?
So really cool.
She said a couple of that odd clutch of hers look odd, like that one at with the bottom with the yellow belly really climbing up.
Yeah, you know, yellow belly is one of those genes that I gotta remember. Nobody can hear me over here.
Sugar Platinum to Bumblebee.
Well, your answer.
Both of those could be hiding yellow belly complex genes in those pretty easily.
Yeah, and some of the white color climbing up's just sugar playing around.
Yeah.
Too. It likes to do that and make that really funky. Because it's kind of the same thing as calico.
Do you have a top 5 genes in your collection at the moment?
Oh, man. Let's see here.
From Corey Hamrick. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, it changes every day. You know, but I'd say if I had not, and here's the funny part about top 5 genes, okay? If I tell you my top 5 genes, and Caleb tells you his top 5 genes, and Kurt tells you his top 5 genes, they're going to be different. They're going to be different. We may share some, they're going to be different. Obviously, Xanthic is my go-to. I love that gene. That's why it's everywhere. I really, really dig it. Some of these two are going to be just based on beauty, not based on monetary. There'll be some of each. Hellfire, just because it's such a fun thing to figure out if we got something new or not. Ask me again in 2 years if it's one of my top 5. It either will be, because it'll be like what we are, or it will be like, yeah, I remember that time we hoped we had something new, we didn't. It'll be one of those two. So that one is definitely in there. I really dig Blitz. Blitz has been really fun to play with. You know, we've done a lot of that. That's just really kind of a cool gene. And then, man, you know, I'm going to go with a Leland combo gene. We're going to call it a single gene. I really like Toffino. You know, Toffino is just so clean. Of course, it's hard to get combos in there because you're having to catch het albino, het toffee to get that Toffino already. But a Toffino for a single gene or a single visual, I guess I should say, is definitely up there for me. And love those things. And then I got to pick one more. You know, it's gonna probably surprise a few folks, but it's so hard because it's rather than single genes, you start getting these combos you really, really like. But I'd probably have to say banana, you know. And that's such an awkward choice because anymore bananas like everywhere. But when I first came in the game, banana was this like thing, right? It was the what getting a hold of a fucking not a hurricane, but a monsoon or something would be now. Actually, more, even more than what a monsoon is now. And that was what banana was, and they were just so far from what anybody has really seen before with the coloration. And even though banana browns, the emotional response it gave me in this hobby to see those first bananas and be blown away does certainly make it one of my favorite genes. I mean, again, I told you it's not about monetary on those. I mean, if we were going to go monetary, it'd be Desert Ghost, which is awesome in its own right. It would be the Krypton, obviously, the cryptic shit. It would be those things that would be my favorite genes in my collection because they can make me the most money. But money is a piece to your happiness. You got to have enough money to function, but money does not define my happiness. So I'm going to pick what makes me happy. Caleb, what do you think?
Real quick before I answer, third floor reptiles, if you're still here, here is one of his, you said you want to see one of the TSK Xanthics. Here is the TSK Zebra Bee female that is actually going to be bred this year. It's pretty exciting.
She's in-house produced. She's probably about 1,600 grams right now. That's a spider pastel Xanthic is what that is. So, what you're thinking of your top 5, I'll throw one more up there for him.
My top 5, for sure, clown, right? Toffino is in there. I really like Toffino. It reminds me of what I thought a banana would be as it aged.
That's exactly what it is. That's why I like it so much too.
Probably Blitz, and then Desert Ghost, and probably Pieds, man. I really like Pieds, especially the Pieds that I run through here because they don't have any extra in them, but they look like they do and are of quality of that.
And our Pieds here too are we got lucky and we got screwed on accident. Okay, you're saying what? So when I bought my first Pied, I bought it from a guy that bought some stuff before. He said he was getting out of it because new baby, turned the reptile room into a nursery because he kicked one past the goalie. Hell, that's the way to screw your reptile hobby up really fast, okay? Is having a new little munchkin you got to feed. And it was a holdback that he was going to hold back and use for his Pied project. And it was this really beautiful Pied. It was supposed to be a female. We bought it. It was a male. So, and he didn't do that on purpose. That was just one of those accidental things that happen. Small peens, little dicks, you can't always see them. Or you didn't push hard enough because of muscle control. You don't want to hurt it. We've all been there too. So he missexed it. I mean, I bet that guy gets 99% of them right, and I just have to be the one out of 100. You're gonna have that happen. I'm not infallible either, so I don't want to come off and bitching about something because it's absolutely not the case. Well, we raised it up, found out it was male, so I wasn't really ever getting past about 1,400 grams, and just, yeah. Anyway, it has such a beautiful orange color when it's not in shed and not breeding. And that we've been able to use that Pied to pass that line on and really work by hand picking some of our female Pieds or our holdbacks to really recreate this beautiful, beautiful orange look in a single gene. I'll show you. Again, quality of genes is not just as simple as throwing 2 snakes together. You can make snakes doing that, but you won't make the kind of shit that I like. Yeah, you're not the one I want to show off. You gotta find the right one. Actually, where is the other set? Because the other set...
other set's behind you, closer to the bottom before we did a shuffle, so I don't know.
They're down here. I labeled them all. There we go. That's... Yeah. This is a just shed. So it's had, I think, 2 sheds now. I'll get you guys a weight on it so you know for size comparisons. But color-wise on this thing, it's just dye fruit fly. Phenomenal. Still small, but look at how orange that is. The orange and black contrast in there. I can tell at the camera. Here, I'm going to change your filter. It'll give you a better, truer look at that if we go to here. There we go. Still not quite as orange as it is in person. But the orange on the camera you see versus what my eye sees, at least if your phone screen is like mine, the orange here is a darker, richer orange. Okay, where the orange that you're seeing on the screen is a little bit more light and washed out. But for a single gene pine, if you like the orange and black Halloween contrast colors, maybe you're an OSU Cowboys fan or something. And by the way, if you are, piss off this week because we're going to beat you. But actually, that's my second favorite Big 12 team. So come on down and have a beer with me. I still hope we beat you. But these are the colors. These are the colors. All right, guys, that's about all the time we have. Caleb, one more thing if you got it, and then I'm going to hop off here and slide over to Patreon.
We'll do two, just because one's really quick. I can answer. How do I find your website, Johnny? Check us out on Patreon. That'll be the best way to find everything and just get on that Discord.
Just www.patreon.com/Olympus Reptiles. We don't really use a traditional website. That's what we use. Yes, it's a paywall. Yes, it's worth it. It's worth it for the people on the Discord and the friendliness there. You get first access to all of our snakes. You get extra content. You get, my cell phone number if you need to text me or whatever. That's definitely the way to go.
And then last question from Corey. If someone were to start with a single pair of snakes, what would you recommend to start with? I'd also, before Matt answers, recommend checking out some earlier videos where we had a $5,000 budget to plan our own projects. That would be something to check out as well.
Yeah, we got a lot done with that $5,000.
Yeah,
$5,000 mythical money. If I was only going to have two snakes, okay, this is going to sound a little bit like I'm copping out a little bit. I would not start a business on two snakes. I won't do it. If you're just starting a hobby and you just want to produce something with your kid for fun, okay, two snakes is fine. But if you're wanting to start a true project that you hope to grow into a business, I wouldn't start with two snakes. The reason for that is it's just you're not going to have enough variety coming out of that. I would definitely start with, in a perfect world, I would start with, just like we did in that video Caleb talked about, 2 projects. 2 males and probably 4 to 6 females. That's where I would begin. The reason for that is what if I have a male that's a dud, which we have a male in our collection right now that's a dud. His sperm is bad. His genetics are bad. I can't breed him anymore. And if you only have 2 snakes and that's your reality, you set yourself back so long, it sucks. So I would definitely start with some more. And I would really recommend starting with a visual recessive het male. Pick your recessive you like. I like Axanthic. That's why I started with. That's where I began. I screwed it all up so you don't have to follow my path. But I would start that visual recessive male. I wouldn't buy him first, but that would be my ultimate goal. Now I'm going to buy my females first. And then I would pick 3 females that are het for that visual recessive if I'm wanting to get in for the a better price. If I don't have a lot of money to start this. And I would pick 3 kicker genes that I know pair well with that. So like if I'm going to do Axanthic, I'd probably be looking for a fire pastel het Axanthic. I'd probably be looking for maybe a pastel spider because those are cheap kicker genes I like with you, het Axanthic. And I would probably be looking for another one that I just like for whatever reason. Maybe you could go like a yellow belly something or a yellow belly or, orange dream. There's a lot of people doing that and that looks really good. Het Axanthic female. I'd buy those 3 snakes in 1 year. I'd wait a year, and then I'd buy a male snake that can pair well with all 3 of those. I may leave the spider off my female, get the spider in my male, or if you want to avoid spider, I get that. And I would do a visual on that. And I think that, to me, is the best way to start. And I would do that with 1 set of recessives, and then I would do that maybe with a set of incomplete dominants as well that I want to pair together. But I would want to do something in a complex where I can also make some supers doing that, such as like something in the bell complex, like maybe work a Mystic Potion line with your bells so you can make bells, Mystic Potions, shit like that. Well, it wouldn't be Mystic Potions, Mystic Mojave, but you get what I'm saying. Mystic and Lesser is also recessive. You may go somewhere in that neighborhood. You could go somewhere with your Cinnamon and your Black Pastel, either one. And Inchy, I believe, is the one that they're actually allelic. I would want to work something that could get me some nice supers or allelic combos. And that's how I would do it. If I could go back and start the whole shit show again. Asking what 2 snakes to start off of, though, there's so many factors, man. I mean, if you want to make the best, I could tell you buy a Gotham Batman Joker, fuckaroo, and spend $20K on that thing, and maybe you can do that. Maybe the next guy's like, bro, I got $20 in my pocket. So it's such a vast difference in just where people are at in life to be able to say what's the best to start. That's how I do projects. All right. You got something else? I know. I
was just going to say, Corey, don't apologize. That's for taking up our time. That's why we do
No.
lives, is
Yeah.
so we can spend time talking. I only mentioned those videos because I know we spent a lot of time going into detail, a little bit more than what we'd be able to here, and kind of do a step by step of how we did things, and maybe make an easier path for you to find.
And no apologies, but my facial expression looked like I was annoyed or pissed. It's just because I was contemplating and thinking. I wasn't annoyed or pissed at all. I was trying to think of the best way to honestly answer your question for what I would do. And that's it. So sometimes I've been told that I kind of get when I think. My wife accuses me of this. She'll think I'm pissed. She'll be like, you look like you're angry. I'm not angry. This is my thinking face. I got a thinking face, kind of like this resting bitch face. I got resting thinking asshole face. So if I came off that way, totally on me. I apologize. No apology needed. There was a lot of deep thought had to go in there on how I wanted to answer that, because I don't want to just give you advice. Yeah, just buy these two snakes, throw them together, because I think that's kind of a disservice to what I would actually advise somebody to do. So, there's that. All right, let's get off here, slide over to Patreon, and we will catch you all next time.